As you can see on this photograph, the Jack Russell's ears are quite large in comparison to the face. And the best way to measure these is with a pencil. Put the top of the pencil at the top of the ear there, and with your forefinger just measure the length of the ear where it joins the head, which is about there, and keep that measurement. Put the top of the pencil at the top of the head, and you can see that the top of the nose just comes slightly underneath my finger. And you can use that measurement with the other ear. And this is one of the best ways to measure things. Keeping that measurement there, you can come across the eyes, in the left corner of the eye there. You can see that distance, the eyes just come slightly after my forefinger there. Where the side of the nose comes here, in relation to the right corner of the eye, put your pencil vertically to the left side of the nose there. You can see that there's about, what, 3/4 of an inch gap there. So you know where to put your mark for the side of the nose on the paper. So now I know all my shapes are right, I'm going to go right in with some darks. Let's put your darks in first. Just roughly do it. Pastel painting is a build-up of colours. I know that on the photograph it looks like a dark blacky blue. I'm just putting them in grey at the moment. You can always go over those colours again. Doesn't really matter which colour you use to start with, because you're just getting the darks in. Broadly painting the nose. That's it for that bit. You get this broad area of white in. You can see that the grain of the paper is showing through at the moment. And you rub it. Get rid of that grain. Because if you see on your photograph, on this photograph, there's no grain there, so you don't want the grain. It's all to do with texture. There's no texture on the dog's nose in this photograph. Oh, about that grey, I'm going to use a black. Some people say, oh, using black, very dodgy sort of colour. But it mixes beautifully with other tone, with other colours. You don't often see a pure black colour. But that isn't pure black, because I put grey on there before. So I've blended that in now, and it's not black at all. If you use a pure black, then generally it just looks like holes, black holes. But if you mix it with another colour, it's fine. Grey colour now going in. Lots of greys. If you ever find that you're a bit dubious about a colour, what you're trying to capture, always turn to a grey. So there's like a blue colour what you're not sure about, put a grey in. And later on you can change that grey, you can go over that grey to the tint you want, tint of blue you want. This brown, which describes the cheek, the bottom part of the cheek of the dog. Going over that now with a grey, slightly. Rub that in. And as I say, it's a build-up of colours, so it'll all come together. It might not look much at the moment. It's going to define these eyes now. Sometimes you can use the edge, the real corner side of the pastel to get lines, and you can use the flat part for broader areas. Always check areas again with your pencil. See how you're going. Blended that in with my finger. The white has turned almost a grey. Don't worry. Still go white. What you're after is a nice, rich, dark colour, because the nose of the dog comes a lot further forward towards the viewer than anything else on the dog. So this needs to be dark. It needs to have your darkest darks and your lightest lights, so as it brings that nose out to us a bit more. Black again now over the brown we put in earlier. And I said it's all a build up of colours. This is where detail comes in. But, I was thinking to keep it looking lively, not tight. Always keep all the different areas in the portrait going at the same time. I'm using Winsor & Newton pastels. It's all detail now. What I want is rich eyes, rich, dark, coloured eyes. The main thing with any portrait is the eyes. If you don't get the distance right between each eye, well then you can, the portrait looks like it's got cow eyes. So you've got to get this relationship correct. Now I think these eyes are okay here, so I'm going to put the highlights in now. But these aren't going to be the finished highlights. These are just to get the sense of what I'm after. You can try and get them in just in one go, all the better. Once you've got that, if you find they're wrong, just use a pastel pencil. Just work around them till you get them right. And don't forget, if you get them wrong, you can always go over that again with pastel and try it and have another go. Forget, want some rich darks. All that needs to be put in again. If you have trouble with tones, you know how dark something is or how light it is, just half close your eyes. You see tones a lot better that way. As I said before, it's always best to work on different parts of the painting and not finishing one part and leaving all the best, because it just doesn't work that way. If you concentrate too much, say on this eye, you're forgetting the other one. You know, you've got to harmonise them both together, so you've got to keep working at everything all at once, all over the painting. I'm going to keep, just to neutralise that colour brown, and also to make it recede a little bit, as though it's in shadow. Make a little colour around the edge of the pastel. You can do a fine detail like that on the edge of the pastel. I hope you can see that the head is just on a slight tilt to the right. You put a horizontal pencil to the top of the eyes, you can see that the right eye comes 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch above the pencil. So it's at an angle like that. And the nose, you can see that the top of the nose is at the same angle. And then you've got, if you can imagine, a line coming straight down there, straight through the middle of the nose and straight through the middle of the mouth area there. So that's at an angle also. So we're trying to get this expression as though the dog has just been photographed and it's just tilted its head just a little bit. Oh, what's that sort of thing? So you can see that tilt. And that's what we're trying to capture. So my nose is just a little bit too straight. Wants to curve off here. It's all coming together. It's all observation. Observing what's going on. What's happening in the portrait. you'll find that eyes, some eyes have got a secondary sort of highlight, which is, well, this secondary highlight here is coming from the right, the right hand side, and this one is coming from the front. So this one needs to be more muted than the main highlight there. Sometimes, as in the photograph, you've got 3 or 4 little different lights, sort of highlights in the eye, but you never want more than 2. This at the bottom here that's okay, as long as it's muted less than the main highlight, that's okay. But there's another one just about there on the left of the main highlight, which we're not going to put in. Otherwise it starts to get a bit confusing what's happening. Let's put a little hair strands and things on there. Let's try and follow the form. So if there's some hair strands going on the right, follow the hair strands that way. So to really look sometimes when you're painting, really see. As regard whiskers, don't try and be too accurate with them. The highlights are a bit too small, so I'm going to just enlarge them a bit. Just a little. Work around them with a pastel pencil. What we're after is crisp, pure white highlights. There we have it. Now the best thing to do now is put it away for a few days, maybe 3 days or so, 2 or 3 days. Bring it back out, and you can often see mistakes better that way, or things that might need altering, things that might need adding. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it.